George, it's time to wake up. George. 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 Georgie!
What?
It's time to wake up.
What's going on?
Wake up. It's time for part 5. You're going to be really happy.
Why?
We're making Lost episodes part 5.
Booty cheek dance.
Don't do that. Hold on. Let's just go. Hey, we're back for Lost.
Wait for me. Yeah, we're back for last episode.
Well, Dipsy and Poe are coming, so let's just wait for them.
A few minutes later.
Sorry we're late. Sorry, it's just Poe chewing gum.
Nah.
I told you, Poe. Oh,
What?
hello. We didn't see you there.
You told me what?
Hold on. Oh, hey guys. We didn't see you there. It's Dipsy here.
Wait for me.
Welcome back to Top 5 Scariest Lost Episodes.
Yeah. So, we're going to be showing you 5 scary ones. Because we're going to do less scary ones because this is the amazing one.
Okay.
Let's get started.
Never mind.
I'm going to play my video games.
No time for video games.
Fine, and then I'm going to sleep.
No! Come back! No, don't come back! Let's just start in 3, 2, 1. Number 5. Candle cloth.
What if a show you watched as a child turned out to be something far bigger than what you previously expected? That is the case with Candle Cove. The story begins with a few forum users discussing old nostalgic television shows, and one show in particular sparks some interest, namely Candle Cove. At first, the forum users innocently discussed the show, its characters, its low-budget charm, and its controversial main villain, the Skin Taker, who was a skeleton who skinned children alive in order to make a cape. But the more the users remember about the show, the darker cracks start to show. The last episode of the series, for example, consisted of nothing but random shots of different characters, along with horrific screaming taking up all audio, while the main character, Janice, could be seen crying, as if she had been through hours of it. The story ends with a forum user asking his mother about the show, and his mother replying with how she remembered his little pirate show, and how he used to sit in front of the television for about half an hour, watching nothing but static.
Number 4. Courage the Carry Dog Lost episode.
Scooby-Doo was airing on Cartoon Network.
Take 2.
Scooby-Doo was airing on Cartoon Network one late night on TV, and it said that Courage was coming up next. But after the theme song, the screen just went black for 5 minutes with no explanation. After those 5 minutes, however, the episode began, and Courage stared lifelessly at the screen. His eyes were plain red with no pupil or iris as he just stared at the viewer. Shortly after, we see him walking down a creepy road that seemed to lead nowhere. He was holding a knife with blood on the end of it, but that was still unexplained. This lasted for a minute as we see him walking this road with creepy music and some static. Eventually it's revealed that he was walking to his house as he sees Muriel and Eustace sitting inside. While there was silence for a while, this piece was completely broken when Muriel used her rolling pin and beat Eustace with no mercy. You could hear screams of pain and see the blood splatter. Courage stood there just watching the scene play out as he held the bloody knife. He started talking in a strange language, and then Muriel looked up at him. Courage slowly walked over to her and slit her throat with blood dripping down found everywhere. He dragged the bodies of Eustace and Muriel to the basement where you can see a bunch of other dead bodies. Courage draws a pentagram around these bodies, lights the pile on fire, and yells in a distorted voice. He jumped into the fire and screamed as it burned his flesh. The house burned to the ground and a storm ends the episode. The credits featured scratchy music, static, and the only words were, "Made by Lucifer." There's a lost episode.
Number 3.
SpongeBob.avi.
It features everyone's favorite underwater sponge. It is lost somewhere on a video sharing website online, but nobody knows where to find it. The video begins with an outside view of SpongeBob's house for 2 minutes. You can see that the door is open, but nothing happens on screen, and we are left to these 2 minutes of silence. Shortly after, the camera went to SpongeBob's bedroom where SpongeBob is sleeping. His alarm clock makes a loud sound for 20 seconds, and then SpongeBob got up to cheer. He got up and looked at his calendar, realizing that today is the day where he could get his driver's license. As he jumps for joy,
Take 3.
sleeping. His alarm clock makes a loud sound for 20 seconds, and then SpongeBob got up to cheer. He got up and looked at his calendar, realizing that today is the day where he could get his driver's license. As he jumped for joy, he ran out of the house and went to Mrs. Puff's boating school. As he is driving the boat later on, he crashes into another boat, which causes his blood and brain to slowly ooze out of his holes. We see a shot of him for 2 minutes, and he does absolutely nothing on the ground, and the screen just cuts to black. Fast-moving clips play for several seconds along with a beep sound. Then it cuts to a funeral with a bunch of tombstones, and every friend of SpongeBob was there. They threw flowers at the tombstone and began to cry. However, an odd Russian voice is heard in the background that isn't clear at first. It says, "Death and misery are both in your hands." We continue to see this funeral scene play out, but then the crying and deep Russian voice stopped. Patrick stares at the viewer in a fourth wall break, and then he takes his eyeballs out. It then cuts to a realistic picture of SpongeBob drawn on paper with a stitched mouth, trying to scream but unable to. There's a deep voice screaming something with some static, and this is assumed to be the same Russian voice as before. There's a few more seconds of static, and the video ends.
Number 2. Loud House Lost episode.
The title is called Enough is Enough. It was found on an obscure website, and apparently it was meant to be the finale of the 3rd season. Unfortunately, it was scrapped after its production was done because the episode was way too disturbing. The episode began with an outside view of the house, except there was no music. Lincoln was watching TV, and then he turned to the camera. He asked the viewer, "Don't you just hate living with 10 sisters? Well, sometimes I do." His smile turned upside down, and he goes on and on about how his sisters aren't beneficial to have around. Luann appeared and told him a joke with Lincoln's hand on his face. When the jokes were over, he took his hand off, and it revealed his angry eyes. "Enough is enough," Lincoln said as he grabbed Luann. He slammed her against the wall, knocking her out. He looked at her unconscious body on the ground and realized that killing made him feel so alive. We then cut to Lori texting on her phone. She leaves the room, possibly to go to the bathroom, and then came back to see Lincoln inside. Lori was hit on the head by her phone, glass shattering everywhere. She began to bleed with glass pieces stuck on her face, and then it cut to black, and we start to see various other Lincoln killings. Lincoln choked Lynn from behind, and it didn't feel like the cartoony style the Loud House is so synonymous with. He killed the other sisters in violent ways, like smashing Luna's guitar in her face, and setting Lucy on fire. 1 week later, Lincoln was staring at the bodies of his dead sisters, and he said he needed one more kill. He realized that he must kill himself, so the screen cut to black for 10 seconds and appeared with Lincoln hanging from the ceiling, back turned against the camera. Anyway, that's all for this video.
We present to you number 1, the SpongeBob bootleg episode.
This frame is from a bootlegged episode of the SpongeBob episode, Dumped. The episode itself consisted of loud buzzing noises, flashing colours, and jumbled static. Not much else is known about the tape. The tape itself was found by 5 teenagers who found it in a trash can near an abandoned mental institution. Of these 5 individuals, 2 have committed suicide. 1 has gone missing. 1 refuses to comment on the tape.
Just ignore
And
the
last,
talking.
let paranormal detectives investigate the tape. No one knows what the tape is now, and many who stare at this image for a long period of time claim to see SpongeBob blink.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for part 6.
And like this video and comment down below.
See you later. Bye.
Bye!